Anybody still here? I don't know why it all of a sudden works. I just did a Google search, and apparently it's quite a common problem for a lot of people. So I don't know what the heck happened. It just tells me it's a very common issue, but it doesn't really give you a fix, which is a bit of a pain in the butt. Hi Theo, how are you doing, buddy? So there you go. I just had closed my notes and all, and I was ready to call it a day. And then I thought, well, let's try one more time, and there you go. All of a sudden it works. I don't know. Very strange, very strange. So a couple of people now in book face that it's working now. Okay, done here. Beautiful. So how are we all doing? Can you hear me now? Is this better? Deborah, I just read your comment. Is this better? Just give me a yes or no or something so I know what's going on at your end. G'day Chris, how you doing, brother? It's not better. Anybody else having problems hearing me? Hello? Just let me know in the comments, guys, if you can hear me or not. Deborah says no. You can hear me, Chris? All good? Thanks, Thea. Okay, guys, I'll better give it the hurry up because Marty went a little bit overboard. Good old Marty, the man can talk, can't he? Just one thing quickly. I usually talk slowly. Now, a couple of people sort of pointed that out to me, why I am talking as slow as I do. Very simple. You got to keep in mind that we have a lot of people from all over the world. English is their second language, or maybe even in some cases their third language. Now, if you're somebody like Chris, Chris is a talking waterfall. He talks very, very fast at some points when he's doing his lesson. He's just a very excitable guy, and but even I sometimes have a little bit of a problem following exactly what he's saying. So I decided, I try to sort of put the brakes on a little bit to give a chance to those where English is not their first language. So that's the reason for doing things the way I do. I want to talk about attitude today, and I want to concentrate in the examples I would like to give. Attitude is in relation to prospecting or sponsoring, whichever way you want to look at it. After all, we are all marketers in some shape or form. If you're anything like me, you're a failed marketer. I think there's plenty of those around. There's very, very few that are successful at what they're doing, and majority of those that are doing a good job as a marketer, it took years and years and years of practice to get where they are. So many of us try different avenues, to find prospects, to find followers, whatever the case, customers, buyers, whatever the case may be. And we're all faced with the reality at the end of the day, no matter what we try, there's always more no's than there always will be yeses. And I'm going to title this today, The Power of No. Hi Karen, good to see you could make it. Imagine when you turn on your computer, and you see, gosh, all the ads I've put out, everything I've been doing, solo mails, advertising and traffic exchanges, doing this, doing that, doing the other, paid advertising. And again, no signups. So what do? Human reaction usually is you walk away from your computer, your shoulders slumped, and your head hanging low, because the advertising didn't go the way you had hoped. What happens next? Motivation is dwindling fast. And you reach a point eventually where you think about throwing it all in and quit. But what if it didn't have to be this way? Imagine you're getting no sign-ups and still feel happy, excited, and energized. Imagine thinking to yourself, yay, no sign-ups today. In order to tap into the power of no, there are three key strategies that you can apply. First of all, you need to change your mental model of success and failure. Most people operate with the following mental model. They have success on one side, failure on the other, and you are in the middle. They see themselves in the middle with success on one and the failure on the other, as I just demonstrated. Then people do everything they can to move towards success and away from failure. But what if that model was wrong? What if you could reconfigure that model? What if you put yourself on one side, then next the failure, and then next to that success, rather than you being in the middle between the two? What if, rather than seeing failure as something to be avoided, it became a stepping stone on the path to success? To put it another way, yes is a destination, but no is how you're going to get there. To achieve significant success in today's world, top performers do not see success and failure, yes and no, as opposites. They rather see it as opposite sides of the same coin that actually depend on each other. Success, to a large degree, as we all know, is a numbers game. As such, one of the fastest ways to increase your success is to intentionally increase your failure rate. Now, I can almost think what most of you are thinking right now. But seriously, in other words, you increase the number of times you get absolutely no results. Hi, Sean. Thanks for dropping by. Of course, increasing the number of times you get no results will eventually increase the number of times you will get results. Simple. It's a numbers game. Number two, create a no awareness by counting all your no signups or no success. Here's a question for you. How many total no signups did you personally obtain yesterday, or last week, or last month? How many do you think you got for the year? Do you know? I'll bet you don't. I don't. Well, you should. You see, most people, if they actually counted the number of times they have no results during a typical day or week, would be shocked to see how low that number actually is. And if you don't know your number, it's time for you to start counting every no result you experience. Because the very act of counting your no results will increase your no awareness, and that in turn will enhance your no focus. Number three, sometimes. No doesn't mean never. It just means most of the time, not yet. Woody Allen said once that 80% of success is simply showing up. While the power of showing up should not be underestimated, the reality is that showing up is usually not enough. The key to success is to show up and then to keep showing up. In a simple word, is what we call persistence. Is this to suggest that when someone keeps telling you no, that you should stay at it forever? Of course not. Though Winston Churchill once famously declared one should never, 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 never quit, knowing when to quit is an important skill. The problem is most people think that time has come long before it actually has. How do you know the perfect time to quit? Whew. Unfortunately, there's not a definitive number of nows at which one should just, throw your hands up and go home. And after all, every situation is different. So the answer should be, do your analysis. Start by looking whether the person you are advertising to is a qualified buyer. If they are unqualified, which basically means they neither want or need what you have to offer, then yes, pack it in and move on. However, if you do know that they need what you have got, even if they don't want it yet, pursue them for as long as it takes by simply repeating what it is you do day in, day out. So the next time you check your advertising results and collected a lot of no signups, remember these key points and say, yay, I got no signups again. Because when you increase your failure rate and go for the no signups, the yeses, I want to join, will eventually come. They always do. Another way of looking at it is, I think we all know what a deck of cards is, playing cards. So here's what I would like you to do in terms of prospecting, who are the right people to speak to and all the rest of it. Imagine that your list of names represents a deck of cards. So what you want to do is you want to find your 4 aces in that deck of cards. There are 52 cards in every deck. 4 aces in this example, let's say 52 names on your list. You want to find like-minded people in that deck of cards. In the case of unpassive, you want to find people that think like we do, are prepared to go the extra mile, show a lot of patience, care about other people, and willing to help when they can. So let's stick with the 4 aces. These are our like-minded people. And remember, this is all about your attitude. The one thing that is absolutely not negotiable is the fact that there are always 4 aces in every deck of cards. So how do you find your 4 aces? Simple, by the process of elimination. First, remove the 4 jokers. There are always people that belittle everything you do and laugh at you when you approach them with another new idea. Just ask Ash. He probably has more than 50 jokers in his deck of cards. Then next, remove the 4 queens, as they represent the drama queens. Excuse me. And I'm sure we all have dealt with those drama queens at some points in our life. So now we only have 44 cards left. And those 44 cards include the 4 aces and 4 kings. Now, kings may not be as powerful as the aces. However, they represent tomorrow's leaders. By talking with people, you eventually will eliminate those that are simply making up the numbers. And then eventually you are left with your 4 kings and 4 aces. Now, the aces could be the next Marty DeGarmo, Red Redfern, Chris Johnson, Bill Musts, just to name a few. They are the ones you need to find to not only duplicate your efforts, but also discover 4 diamonds in the rough. No matter which way you look at it, there are always 4 aces in every deck of cards. End of story. The right attitude can and will make a huge difference in your daily activities. It all starts in the morning, if you ask me. A person with a positive attitude gets out of bed, looks out of the window, admires the beauty of nature, listens to the sounds of the birds, and so on. The negative thinking person looks through that very same window and sees the dirt on the window. Hi Vicky, good to see you. So attitude applies in all our aspects of life, job, friendships, whatever. Let me give you one example about a lady who kind of been a role model for me at some stage. This is going back about 25 years ago. I had a friend in Melbourne, German lady by the name of Elizabeth. Got to know her when she was in her 50s. She passed away at the age of 78. Very, very strong lady, strong-willed, knew what she wanted, and so on. The example I want to give you is her 70th birthday. Imagine a house full of people, and here's Elizabeth, not your common 70-year-old, by the way, doing pretty much everything still on her own, doing her own garden, do the cooking, do the cleaning, do whatever. But Elizabeth also had a bit of a big mouth. She liked using the F word. And, Elizabeth also liked jokes. The dirtier, the better. So anyway, on her birthday, I sort of couldn't help but hearing her using the F word a little bit more than usual. So when I had a chance, I took her aside. I said, Elizabeth, look, why are you swearing so much? And she says, you know what? I might be 70 years old. A lot of people might think I'm old and useless and no good for anything. She said, sure, the knees hurt and this aches and that aches. But hey, she says, up here, I'm in my 20s and I always will be. And if I want to use the F word, I can use the F word all I want in my house. And if people don't like it, they can go and F off. Unquote. Cracked me up, just came out straight. She didn't mince her words. She always called a spade a spade. And, lived a very, very, very healthy life right till the day she passed away. Another example I want to give is whilst living in Melbourne, I got a phone call one Monday afternoon from a guy who was the public relations, back then, was the public relations manager for one of the biggest radio stations in Melbourne. David and I have become very good friends over the years. David was also an agent for a couple of big jobs that I got thanks to David as a DJ. And he said, "What are you doing tonight, Tom?" I said, "Oh, I don't know. It's Monday, doing nothing. Night off, chilling." He said, "You want to go greyhound racing?" Now, greyhounds, for those who are not familiar, are basically very tall, skinny dogs with very long legs, and they're chasing the fake rabbits, and people bet on the races. I never been to a greyhound race before. I said, "You know what, David? That sounds damn good. Let's do this." He said, "Yeah, but you need to dress up." And I said to David, "Why do I need to dress up?" He says, "Oh, we'll be in the VIP area. And the Premier of Victoria will be there. And the Sports Minister will be there." And he rattled off all these names. And it didn't impress me one bit. It doesn't. It never has. At the end of the day, if you imagine every single person that, got so-called status or is somebody very important, with their pants down on the toilet, they all look the same, as far as I'm concerned, you know. And the word about status, what is status? Depends which way you look at it. For me, personally, my experience, status is when people buy things they don't really need with money they haven't got to impress people they don't like. Let me say that again. Status is when people buy things they don't really need with money they haven't got to impress people they don't like. Okay? I'm going to finish it off here because we got another webinar already happening, unfortunately. So to finish off, ability is what you're capable of doing. Motivation will always determine what you do. Your attitude will always determine how well you do it. After all, it's not what happens to you, it's how you handle it. Your attitude will determine the outcome of any situation you may be experiencing. I'm going through an extremely financial tough time at the moment. And does it affect me? Maybe on the inside, on the outside, towards my family, the neighbors, the friends, and so on. Gotta keep smiling, gotta keep on going, do or die. But you might also want to change the way you look at things, which I'm trying. I'm working on that myself. I'm a work in progress. Instead of saying I have a huge problem, say I am faced with a huge challenge. Some people say I have an attitude. Maybe I do. But I think you have to have an attitude. After all, you have to believe in yourself when no one else does. And that's what will make you a winner every single time. Thank you so much for listening to me. I hope you got a little bit out of it. I'm still working on the subject for next week. I may change the time. I might actually do it before Marty. I'm working on that part as well. Have a great week, everybody. Thanks again for tuning in. Stay awesome and enjoy life. We are almost there. Bye for now.